The 2018 MLB draft just ended Wednesday night, but Clemson coach Monte Lee already has a good idea of which players will be returning to school and which players are set to begin their pro careers. The Tigers had 7 current players drafted, including 4 players with eligibility remaining. Junior Seth Beer was selected in the first round, number 28 overall by the Houston Astros. Junior reliever Ryley Gilliam was picked in the 5th round by the Mets. Redshirt sophomore starter Jake Higginbotham was picked in the 11th round by the Braves, and sophomore lefty reliever Miller was picked in the 31st round by the Angels. Lee expects all 4 of those players to sign professional deals, he said Thursday morning during his end-of-year news conference. "Anytime you're going into draft week, for us, it's a very exciting time. One of the things that we really try to promote to young men coming into our program is not only a great experience here at Clemson as a student-athlete, but that we're going to do everything we can to develop them and better them as players so that they get an opportunity to play professional baseball," Lee said. "We fully expect the guys drafted to sign and move on into their professional careers." Clemson also will lose 3 seniors who were drafted off of this year's team, including catcher, first baseman Chris Williams, outfielder Drew Wharton and reliever Ryan Miller. Williams led the Tigers with 72 RBIs this season and was second in home runs with 18. Wharton hit .255 with 12 doubles, 7 homers and 41 RBIs. And Miller was second on Clemson's team in wins with 7, despite all 26 of his appearances coming as a reliever. When you combine those losses with the key players Clemson is losing early in Beer, who led the team in homers with 22, Higginbotham, who was a weekend starter with a 6-1 record and 3.47 ERA, and Gilliam, who had Clemson's lowest ERA at 1.41, as well as a team-high 11 saves, the Tigers are losing a lot of production from this year's team that won 47 games. With that said, Clemson could have lost more players to the draft. Weekend starter Brooks Crawford, who led the Tigers in wins with 8 and was, perhaps, Clemson's most consistent starter, received phone calls from teams but was not willing to sign for the money he was offered. Fielder Grayson Bird also had interest from teams but none that were willing to match his price. Brooks Crawford turned down some opportunities. Brooks could have gotten a pretty good opportunity, too, for a junior. But he told teams just kind of based on where they saw him and where they felt like he was at as a player that he would rather come back to school, Lee said. Grayson Bird, another All-ACC player for us this year, battled injuries all year long. Grayson's coming back to school, and Grayson turned down some opportunities. He could have been drafted later in the draft. The Tigers will lose a few signees to the draft, most notably outfielder Parker Meadows, who was picked by the Tigers in the 2nd round. Parker put a high value on his degree and the opportunity to go to college. It was going to take serious money, life-changing money, for him to give up the opportunity to go to Clemson, Lee said. You could tell, based on where he was drafted, that they were going to give him that type of opportunity. Infielder Charles Mack, who was drafted by the Twins in the 6th round, is also expected to sign, according to Lee. But pitcher Davis Sharp, pitcher Justin Wrobleski and catcher Adam Hackenberg were all highly rated prospects who were drafted late and planned to come to school. Pitcher Carl Raffield, who went undrafted, is also highly rated and will play for the Tigers next season. "The draft was good to us," Lee said.